Hey there, everyone. Nice to see you. This is the first of what I'm at the moment calling a quick shot. The goal here is to get an entire little game because there's only so much scope you can have in about an hour, and so there's only the very simplest games can be had here. And you may be wondering, what am I doing at smallbasic.com? And what is smallbasic.com? Microsoft has a small basic. Years ago, I'd completely forgotten about this thing. Small basic. I will show you the. You can go to smallbasic.com, of course. You can download it. You can run the IDE, and it is. So what they were trying to do here is they were trying to say, hey, you know what? Coding's too hard. It's not like when we being the people who are my age, were kids. In the 80s, when we had the 64 kilobyte computers that booted into a line number basic. That's where I cut my teeth, and that's where a lot of people cut their teeth in my generation. And so they said, hey, let's make this easy again. And so I'll go through here. This is one of their. So also one of the things they can do is say, I'm going to you have these program listings that are up there. You can tell it to import. It'll load the thing. There is no maximize button. This is a very WPF-y thing, and also it is the small basic is a very not functional, but you can really take a look at the, okay, I see what they're doing here. So run the thing, and here we are. So it's a very simple graphical kind of interface thing. Oh, thanks so much. So I've completely forgotten about it. And of course, it works under .NET. And then you can actually, in theory, graduate this to a VB.NET program. But and I don't care to change things, don't care to save it. But so, what I realized is there is basically a ready-made it's a ready-made primitive GUI that I can use to let's find ourselves a better place in our quick shots in episode 1 and in the code. And today we're going to create a game called Guess My Number. It's the old Guess My Number 1 through 100, and it counts how many guesses you have. It's completely deterministic, completely trivial game to make. But we're doing two things here. One, we are proving out that what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the small basic library. I'm going to copy the DLL, and I'm going to put it here. It's right here in my code. Get small basic library.dll. And we don't need that open anymore. We don't need that open anymore. I'm going to add a reference to it. We're going to browse. And always good times here. You get to peruse my very messy E drive with me. Where do I have it? Joy of Functional Game Dev. Quick Shots, Episode 1, Code. I want that guy. Give me that guy. Okay. So now I can take a look here. No information. Try browsing a different component set. What? There we are. Okay. Microsoft. Really? No? View an object browser. There you are. All right. So here we are. Small basic library. For the most part, everything consists of these static classes. Because in small basic, it was just they're trying to make it as simple as possible. Everything is a static class, and so here is so here's that imperative thing that we can use in our program, and we'll do that right here. And we're going to, and what do we have to? So it's Microsoft.smallbasic.library. Then Microsoft small library. So the first thing we want to do, let's do a text window dot show. Text window dot writeLine. We're going to do yield hello world. But the thing is, what they did is very very similar to some of the stuff that we did primitive. They only have one primitive type. So here is the hello world. So successor argument. So writeLine. Do I need to do that? Yeah. So writeLine takes a primitive. Oh, primitive text. So writeLine, which takes a primitive, turns unit. So here we are. And we're going to start it and see what happens. Up, and it stopped. So text window dot, and actually let's also do the properties, because actually I want it to be a Windows application. Believe it or not. Dot read. So let input equals text window read, and then we will be done. Okay. So this works out. See a hello world, and we're just waiting for us to go type something in, and then we're done. So it's not all. It's this is no better than doing console.read console or printf or whatever. And actually, our primitives are kind of annoying to work with, but here's where it really works out. Because check this out, game window. It's not game window, it's graphics window. Show graphics window. Draw text. And this is going to be primitive 0, primitive 0, and then primitive hello world. And then this should say, hey, hello world, and it waits for me to close things. So we have a good method to do graphics, to do text. So for this quick shot thing, and I'm already been talking for 10 minutes. Well, 9:23, but who's counting? But we can use the facilities here to do the input, output, and other things that we care to do. Okay, so neat. And then we can also learn some things. And some of this other stuff where it's kind of a wacky little thing. I used to play with this some time ago. But so, all right. In Guess My Number, the requirements of Guess My Number. Oh, not O, caps lock. All right. So the whole point of Guess My Number. Guess My Number. One computer picks a number between 1 and 100. 2. Player guesses. Makes a guess. 3. Computer tells player if guess was too high or too low. 4. If the guess is correct, then if guess is not correct, go back to 2. 5. When the guess is correct, report how many guesses it took. So, super simple. Let's get the job done, and let's use Microsoft Small Basic to do it. So the one thing we need to have is let's have a game state. So start out with the type that we care for. Type game state equals, and it's a record. Let's do this here. I never really know what to put that one there or to put that one whatever. So there's a target, and that's going to be a primitive. And we have to use primitives because we're working within Small Basic, and we want to use its facilities for target. There's guess count. So primitive. Although, we don't really have to do this. Let's see if we can find a way. So the target is an int. The guess count is a primitive. Well, no, we're not going to pick that out. That was an int. Last guess, int option. And so, let's say let generate initial state, which takes nothing and returns a game state, is let random equals, we don't even need it, it's system.random new system.random.next next to do this, let load random equals new system.random. So random.next, okay, that's going to do that. And this is going to give us so the target is random.next 100, but it's going to be a +1 because we want it between 1 and 100. And then guess count equals 0. And last guess equals none. So that generates our initial state. And then we basically want to loop through recursively. This is a rec. This looks like a job for a rec. Let rec play game. Game state, which is a game state, and actually it returns unit. because what's going to happen is game state. All right. All right. If game state dot last guess is none or is some, then do it this way. We're going to match game state last guess with. We have some guess. I'll just return nothing, and none also return nothing. Then really what we're going to have here, we're going to have generate initial state. We're going to pump that into play game, and that's going to oh, there's the equal. So last guess, if it's a guess, then report last guess. We're going to modify the game state. So, all right. None. We're just going. So, all right. Report guess status. Game state. Report the guess status. Actually, the first thing we're going to do here, we're going to do text window dot show. So text window dot title, and this is not as much as I care to do, but guess my number 1 through 100. Well, it's got to be a primitive. And what does this do? So, sets the title. We need a get set guess status. Let report guess status, which takes a game state and returns a unit, is we'll report see I don't really need, so I got guess. So we're going to do this. We take game state dot target guess. We're going to pump them both in here, and this is going to be target, which is an int, and it's going to be a guess, which is also an int. And seeing this actually, no. Okay. Starting to think though, is there an active pattern that I should be doing here? I think kind of that there is. But we'll keep going this way. For the guess data, so if target greater than guess, then elif target less than guess, then else. And this will be text window right line primitive to high. target is less than, so that means the guess is too low. Then it's too high. And this one is correct. We'll put exclamation points because exclamation points add interest. So we're going to report that the guess was too low or too high. Actually, I think this will return us a bool. So if it's too low or too high, we're going to return false. 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 Or this will be true. Then we go if then else over. Okay. So if we wind up with a true, which means we've got a correct guess, then our game is over. Well, something clever like text window dot right line primitive you win, and you took S guesses, and this is where we printf. This one's going to be game state guess count. You took S guesses. What don't you like? Don't you like? From a tab overload method. Printf will give me. Well, that's interesting. Oh, it's not %s. Aha, it's %d. Now it'll be quiet. Okay. So now we can say you took that many guesses. This is at this point text window dot read. Oh, there's a read number. Read, and we're going to ignore it. Okay, so, and then so then else let next guess equal read next guess. Very cleverly read next guess. Let read next guess equals int. Oh, int equals colon int equals. And at this point, okay, so text window dot right line primitive guess my number 1 through 100. So this one's going to be a right. Now text window read number. Let input equals, and input is now a primitive. Input int And will it? We'll find out, I suppose. Next guess equals read next guess, and we take game state with guess count equals game state dot guess count plus 1. Last guess equals next guess sum. So what am I doing wrong? Okay, so and we're gonna pipe it through play game. So, and then if there's none, then we also do that again. So, okay. I have no idea if it's going to work or not. You took in guesses, and then this reads something. Well, does she build? Okay, I guess my number went through 100. Let's go 50. Too high. 25. Also too high. 12. Too high. 6. Correct. You win. You took 4 guesses. All right. And I hit enter, and I'm done. And that gets us through this, and it's a little. This is a little unwieldy, but by the same token, that's kind of okay. So that's one way to implement guess my number using the small base. Now we could have done this with the console, but one of the things that I really want to do here is and this is going to have to be a little. All right, we're gonna. Okay, so we know that works. All right, so we're cool. So one of the bits in here, there's shapes which I don't think I can actually do anything with, but there's also controls. So I'm going to add buttons, and then there's our set size. All right. So game window. Oh, not game window. It's graphics window. Graphics window. Dot title, and we're going to do the same thing here. So number 1 through 100, and we're going to take a look at controls to add a button. Okay, so controls, add button. Add button. And it's going to take a primitive, and that's that. 0, 0. Let's say that's a 1. Controls, add button. Oh, and this is like, for now we're going to ignore it. And graphics window show, not set pixel, show. I'm going to show you this because I think we can make make this a bit more graphical. And I know that graphics window can resize. What are you? Primitive false. Graphics window width primitive. Alright, so I'm going to make 10 rows, 10 columns. Let's make them 640. And to try this out, we're going to probably put a little more on the bottom so we can actually have like a count of how many. But I'm just checking this out to see. Okay, so there we are, 640, 640. That's cool. And then actually I want controls dot set size. And for this, I'm going to need the let button 1 equal that. Set size, and this is, so this creates a something or other, sets it to, so returns a handle more or less by which I can well, handle it. And let's see what we can do there. Yes, sir. And this is an unfold, right? So sequence.unfold. So we're going to take 100. We're going to unfold it. And this is kind of what we use. Fold. The state is the number. State, well, 0, it should be 1. Essentially, the state's 0. And it emits something. Okay. So fun. That's more or less n. If n equals 100, then none. Else, we want some okay. Okay. Well, I'll just also put a none on here just so we can get this bad by compiling. Fun n, if n is 100. Oh, and then ignore, just so we're cool. Alright, well, actually, we'll do a let. Let buttons equal that. Don't want to ignore anymore. So, we know that let button left equal primitive 64 times, we have n, so n divided by 10, or n remainder 10. Let button top equal divide by 10. We want to let button equal controls add button, primitive, we'll call it a 1 now, but it's really not. And then button left, button top. We're going to set the size of it. Do this, get rid of there. Okie doke. This is really going to be a n plus 1 as printf %d. So that's cool. So it starts at 0, so really that's a 1, and I take that and I make button the size of 6464. Up, and then it is the unfold gives me a T, so sum button n plus 1. Okay. Now, if that all worked, I will get I will get 100 buttons with 1 through 100. And I didn't. What is wrong? Add button. Let's take a look. Start it up. Never even gets there. So it takes a state. Really? Okay, somebody out there, you're seeing it, and I'm not. Why am I not seeing it? Well, let's get a breakpoint there. Okay, so F11. I mean, my goodness. Fun and this one. Okay. What am I doing wrong? And this is the fun part of the show, right? So let's fail together. So here's n, which starts at 0. If it's 100, then none. Okay. For each well, let's make the emitter and int equals. So take that, we're gonna go here. Right like so. Okay, so emitter. Buttons shows a sequence of primitives. So actually I wanted a mapping here. N plus 1 button. So emitter takes that and returns that. Why, you know our work. Na. So my goodness. let's try. Yes, are we started? would you? Oh, you know what? I think I'll do this after. I don't know. Well, that's just crazy. Hold on. See? Yeah, tell me this actually does something, right? Start. It completely skips it. Why are you completely skipping it? Takes a state, so it's 0. What in the world? Well, let's put that. Do you see what I'm doing wrong? I'm completely befuddled. Wow. Okay. No. So, what am I doing that's wrong? It's just crazy, man. So bizarre. I've done a bunch of folds. I don't know what I did wrong. It just goes to show I can fail with the best. Yeah, dude. Weird. Okay, so can I do a for loop? For n in 0, 9, 9 do um, what button that? Let's do the stuff directly. And yield button. Right? Yeah, insane. Start it up. We'll take this and we'll see if buttons actually has anything. Okay, and now it works, and so whatever. And so that's completely fine, I guess. What was I doing wrong with the fold? What was I doing wrong with the unfold? That is the big question. Tell me that, and yeah, we can talk about that in a little while. Very bizarre. Why didn't you work? It ultimately doesn't really matter. But I do need a game state. And now here's really the big problem is that I need to store game state. Let game state in kind of globally equals ref. Right, initial state. Will that work? Okay, I'm gonna do that. So there'll be a game state ref. So I will be able to update game state. So what really goes on? So we have our initial game state here. Oh, and I need I'm also going to need let button map equal ref map dot empty. I have to give it a type. So T. So actually I need the button to a number and the number to a button. So button to guess map. That'll be an int to a primitive. And let a guess to button map. And that is a primitive to an int. Doesn't like. Doesn't like the idea. How about string? Can I get the? I don't even really know what's in these. All right, let's figure that out. Because this is the. So here we are. We have buttons. What's in here? It's called button 13. What is your value? It's primitive as string. Okay, there's an as string. Well, that's useful. So can I? Okay, so all right. So we can have. Going to yield n plus 1 button. It really does bother me about the unfold. Passing a 0 into an unfold. Okay, so buttons are now. So there's a 12 and a button 1, 2. So we do it like that as a dot as string. Button. String, will that work? Go. So buttons, which is a, hey, all right. So it cleverly calls things button 1 through whatever. So now my buttons can be used to should I just leave that? Let buttons there's a sequence int times string equals seek dot seek.empty. Oh, ref seek.empty. I have to put a string. So can't do it across the ref. 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 I'll just take that part out. Okay, that's going to be a ref seek.empty and time string. Okay. Buttons colon equal. Oh, what don't you like? List to sequence. Okay. Buttons is that. So now I got all that. And I do also need my game state. So I make my have an initial state. I do have the initial state. Now what we're going to do is we have to set up weird thing. Okay, so I got to find out how to respond to button clicked. So it's a small basic callback. So let on button clicked, which is a small basic callback, equals small basic callback one nothing gives you nothing. This is how you have to do it because it takes a unit to a unit, and this is how it has to get done. And controls add button clicked. That only takes a just need on button clicked. Oh hey, Island Castaway has replenished its supplies and it's waiting for me. Thanks, Island Castaway. Yeah, it's a goofy little game that I play. So now is going to do some nothing. And this is so I'm going to get controls last clicked button let clicked button equals that. It's going to be a string. Now we're going to look up buttons. What's a sequence dot bind? So what's fine gonna be? It's a do sequence find on E. It's N guess name and name equals clicked button. And do let guess equals that. Now we found that, and we fist it. So now we got to guess. And this is now we've required a guess. And we're going to say if guess is game state dot. Let's see, what's game state? Game state is your game state ref. Game state dot so game state dot contents dot target then let's see, there's graphics window. I think there's a show message. Primitive something. Primitive something else. So that's my text. Where was the? There's that. That, and that one's just going to be UN. The weird thing about ref here. This should work. That's how things are acting a little strange today. Because that should work. Okay, I have to parenthesize this. Guess, and I'm going to imagine to get on the first time. All right. If guess is equal to that, then there's the guess count. Otherwise, and we're going to also program.end. This will completely destroy everything. So you win, you took this many guesses. Otherwise, game state is equal to game state with guess count equals game state dot guess count. Just one. Last guess equals guess sum. Oh, that's gonna be game state with that. And so cool. Oh, but also if guess is less than I'll do this beforehand. Okay, if the game is less than game state target, then else do some nothing here. And what are we going to do here is we're going to take our buttons we're going to filter them. So seek.filter fun. What did we have here? We had a number name. So if my guess is less than the target, then I'm too low. Number less than guess. Buttons there, and then sequence.map. And I need something that takes that and gives me something. So I want the name it. So I want the second. So right now, it's first, and this is going to give me secret. Okay. In the map. It is sunned, right? Oh, it's just SN. No? Small letters? Okay. Sunned. It's like fist, but it's sunned. Okay, and then it's going to be sequence.iter. Fun name controls hide control primitive name. Hopefully that works. Otherwise, and where it's greater than, guess. Let's see. Oh, who knows if this is going to work? Who knows if it's going to build? Playing around today. This is part of the joy, though, of the whole thing. So, F5. All right, is this going to work? Boom. Okay. Up. Less than or equal to. We'll go 75, 62. Go in here somewhere. 53, 52, 51. I took 7 guesses. Okay, and ends. Yay! It is not super fancy. Less than equals to guess. Equal to guess. All right. And this all works out. That 75, 88. In here somewhere. That one. I took 5 guesses. Yay for me. Well, that's pretty cheap and easy. And now this one doesn't feel all that functional, now does it? Because really, we've got I mean, we're using F sharp, but I don't really feel like we're. Oh, good. 7 guesses. in the text-based version, yes. If so, in the text-based version, yes, we are. In the graphics one, we're way too imperative to really. We're using a ref. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Because you're interfacing with this very imperative graphics window. So then what shall we do? finish this guy off here. Say, all right. Let's do this. Okay. If argv dot, this is an array. This is an array. Array dot length equals 0. I'm just going to do a let let graphical equal. So if the array is 0, then true, else that's elif argv 0 equals text. Well, else is basically else. Is there a 2 upper? Actually, we're going to go 2 lower. 2 lower equals text. So if graphical, then else. Okay, you. We'll do this. Oops. And now we can play either way. Oh, that's fun. So I just start it. There's no arguments. We go graphical. If I set it up where in my debug I type text and I run you, still doesn't work. Okay, let's figure it out. So if argv equals, let's do, okay, so right now argv string 1 10. Let's put that on there. Oh, okay, so anything but text. There. Run, and we should have our text one. Don't need to do anymore because we got it right. Okay, 50. Yeah, too high. 75. Still too high. Oh, I should really go with 25. 12. I win. Yay for me. Okay, so, and that was a quick shot. And this is not an earth-shattering game, but I had a lot of fun doing this. Sometimes it's you're gonna try something new, gonna do things. Either try a thing you haven't used before. So in this case, we did the small basic library in F#, or you do something you already know how to work in, and you do something you haven't done, which is like Project 2. So, any case, thanks for continuing to watch and support these videos. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. That's the end for this one. I'll put I guess a GitHub gist, more or less, or maybe I should actually have this checked in somewhere. Maybe I should make. It's too small for just a GitHub repo, isn't it? I don't know. But anyway, I'll get it up there somewhere. So the link will be down. The link is down below, so you can take a look. Thanks so much for coming on this journey with me. And as always, keep that joy of functional game dev in your heart. And I'll see you next time.